Hi. So this is a slightly different practice. We're going to do a yin style practice. So we're going to need a few props. Okay. So to do this so it's a restorative practice. Sorry, I said it was yin style. Yin is where you hold a pose for quite a long time, but you don't necessarily use any props. This is a restorative yoga practice. So this is a great practice to do at the end of the day or before bed. It's a properly nurturing, relaxing practice. Excuse my voice. I've lost it a little bit. I'm not sure why that happened, but anyway. You will need for this practice a yoga brick or block if you have one. If you don't have one, then a thick paperback book should work quite well, or a couple. I'm going to probably use 2 in this practice. As many blankets as you can get your hands on. So I've got 3, but if you can get more than that, that's great. And then some sort of bolster or something that can act as a bolster. So a pillow will be good. The harder the better. So if you've got a nice solid pillow or 2 actually would be more convenient, or a sofa cushion would work pretty good too. Plus, if you've got extra cushions or pillows, then that would be useful too. And a chair. I'm going to use a chair at the end of your mat for one of the postures, although you don't have to use that. And if you have some wall space, then that could be useful too. Okay, so gather all your items and we'll begin. So let's actually just come to sitting to start with. So take one of your blankets, place it underneath your hips. And if you want to keep a pair of socks on for this practice, then that's fine too. We're not going to generate any heat in the body through this practice. So a jumper and some socks is probably a good idea. Come to a Sukhasana, an easy pose, so a cross-leg pose. Hips slightly lifted above your knees, sitting on a cushion or a blanket or 2. Take a moment to close your eyes. You might want to bring your hand, one onto the heart, one onto your belly. Let the shoulders drop away from your ears. Sitting bones rooting into the earth and crown of the head lifting towards the ceiling. Take a few deep breaths here. Take a moment to come into your body, noticing your breath. Noticing the breath move underneath your hands. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhonaktu Sahaviryang Karavavai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gently open your eyes, keep your gaze soft. You can take your hands away from your body. And let's begin with our restorative practice. So stay sitting where you are in your blanket. Take your legs out, not too wide, but in a kind of half upper vista konasana. And then we're going to bring our lump of goodies together in front of us. Now for this, you might want to place your book or your block or both underneath your bolster and then layer it up with some blankets and perhaps a cushion. Whatever seems good to you, and then we're going to root the heels down into the earth and then lie forward on the bolster. Take your hands either side of your bolster and turn your head to one side. Start to settle in, but try and keep the heels rooted. So I'm not going to do a huge amount of talking through this practice. I'll just tell you when we're going to move. So let your breath start to deepen. And try and keep your focus at your breath. So rather than have your mind wander off too much into too many stories, every time you notice that, gently bring yourself back to your breathing. Soften the space between your eyebrows. Good, and then turn your head to the opposite side. So feeling the shoulders release and drop down away from the spine. Let the belly be soft. And then gently pressing into your hands, walk yourself back up to sitting, and we'll start to rearrange our blankets. So this time we're going to come into a supported child's pose. But before we do, let's just take a quick cat-cow to bring some movement and some fluid, some juice into the spine. So just gently sway from side to side. Wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, and then inhale. Take the chest forward, tailbone up. And exhale, press down into the tops of the feet, rounding the spine, emptying the belly of air. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, round. Inhale. Chest comes forward, tailbone up. And exhale, crown of the head drops down, tailbone drops towards the floor. And one more. And then exhale, sink down onto your knees, and we are going to take our bolster or pillows in front of us like so, load it up with blankets, and then take your knees either side of your pillow, let your hips sink back over your heels. If it's more comfortable to place something on your heels, like your block, you can, or if you want a blanket just to lift your hips a little bit up, then do. Otherwise, bring your belly down on to your pile of stuff and let your arms relax down by your sides. You can take your arms down by your side this way if that feels good for you. But for me, it feels better to have them out forward. Close your eyes and let everything release towards the floor. Think about where you can give your weight away, where you can release the tension in the muscles. And lift the head up and turn onto the opposite ear. Bring your hands in underneath your shoulders. Press into your hands to lift yourself up. And scoot yourself back a little bit. Bring your right hip to the edge of your pillow stack. And just let your legs relax. And then turn your body onto your stack of pillows and blankets so that your hands are either side. And then lay your body down on top. Turn your face so that your nose is facing the same way as your legs. So this is a supported twist. Let your hips and your legs get heavy and release onto the floor. Shoulders release down, away from the spine. Close your eyes. Let the belly be soft and relaxed. And again, give your weight away to the earth. And take a deep breath here. Exhaling fully, allow everything to release. And then on your next exhalation, bring your hands in underneath your shoulders and press yourself up using your hands. And we're going to turn to the other side. I'm just going to turn my stuff around so that I've not got my back to you. But bring your left hip in tight to your stack of pillows and blankets. Let your legs relax. Turn your body to face your stack, hands either side, and then lay yourself down. Come onto your left ear, have your nose pointing the same way as your knees. And start to let everything release into the earth. Belly releases, legs release. Arms and shoulders and jaw and forehead. Trust that your body is restoring and healing in the way that it needs to. Sometimes it feels in a practice like this that nothing is happening, but stuff is happening. Good stuff is happening. As a culture, we're so conditioned into thinking that we have to be doing for things to be working. Let's play with the idea of not doing. Take a full deep breath here. Big inhale and exhale completely. Use your exhalation to let everything relax that hasn't been. And again. And then moving your hands underneath your shoulders so you can press yourself back up, come back up. And keep your stack where it is. Bring your book or your block into play here. So place one block up against your stack, and you may want to lift your stack a little with the other. You might not need that. And we're going to come into a Supta Virasana. So bring your knees together and your feet wide. So you want your feet either side of your stack. And then we're going to sit on the brick or the block with the knees staying together, and then lie back over your pile. Let your arms drop out to the side, palms facing up. Now, if you come to Virasana easily, you can always, you don't have to use the brick underneath you. You can let your buttocks rest on the floor. However, if they're not resting on the floor, then put something underneath them. This is a wonderful pose not only for the knees and the legs, but as a heart opening posture. And it's also very good for the throat and the throat chakra. So this is a great one to practice if you feel that you can't make yourself heard, that you're not being heard, that you're not able to communicate your truth. This is a great posture to practice, particularly in this form, so with all the bolsters and blankets and props. So take a moment to check your body for where you might be holding or gripping. You might be clenching your jaw. If you are, can you release it? Use the exhalation to help. Feel the eyebrows move away from each other, so an opening in the space where the third eye sits. And if you're uncomfortable, get more pillows, get more cushions, build your props up so that you can relax and feel nourished in the posture. So you can feel held rather than holding. Good. And take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, press down into your hands to walk yourself over. Good. Come over onto all fours and round the spine. And then take one leg out and stretch it. And then the other. Good. And take your book or brick away. We're going to lower the bolster down, you can also take some of your blankets, maybe even all your blankets, and place your sacrum at your pillow or bolster, and bring the soles of your feet together. It's quite nice here in Baddha Konasana to lay something over the hips, have a bit of weight over the hips. So if you place your blankets over your hips, and then you may find that it's nice to put cushions or your book or brick underneath your knees like so. Let your knees be supported. And then when you're ready, take yourself back into Baddha Konasana. Take your arms out to the sides, not shoulder height, but just about 45 degrees, palms facing up. Tuck your chin in slightly, lengthening through the back of the neck. If your head is falling off of your whatever it is you're lying on, see if you can put something underneath your head, like a pillow or a cushion, to ease any discomfort in the neck. See if you can let go of any holding in your thighs and in your hips, particularly if you have your knees supported. Allow the weight of your legs to drop down. Check for any tension in your jaw. If there is, give it a movement to let it release. And then is there anywhere else in the body you can take your breath? Take a deep breath in here. Exhale fully. And then on your next exhalation, press down into your forearms and use your hands to bring yourself up to sitting. Take away all your bits and pieces. And then move your bolster out to the side. Take a blanket and place it on your mat here. You can either, we're going to do Viparita Karasana, legs, Viparita Karani, sorry, legs up the wall, or because I don't have a wall space, I'm going to use a chair. So you can use whatever suits you. Bring your hip either side up against your wall or chair and then swing your legs up. So if your legs up the wall, take your sitting bones up against the skirting board or the bottom of the wall, and then you can have your legs lifted up like so. If you're at the chair, just come as close in as you can and then place your legs on the seat of the chair. You might want to lift things up a little bit if it's a bit low. And then lie back. Take your elbows out wide and bring your fingers onto your belly. Let your shoulders settle into the ground. Tuck the chin slightly, lengthening through the back of the neck. And if your legs up the wall, you can just let your feet relax with your heels resting into the wall. Feel the length of your spine releasing into the earth. Soften your jaw, let your tongue relax. So you can stay here for up to 10 minutes or longer if you like. And whenever you're ready, bend your knees into your chest. Maybe give them a little hug and roll to one side. Pause. Using your hands, you can come up to sitting. But I do recommend that if you can stay with legs up the wall, legs on a chair, then do that. It's really beneficial. Okay. I hope you feel nourished and replenished. Until next time, namaste.